Hi everybody, it's Marty. Welcome back to my channel. I'm like trying to find the light. I digress. Yeah, getting the girls all right. It's almost been a year. These heal in June. It'll be a year, June 13th. And I'm exactly a D cup. Well, in a French bra, I'm a D cup. In America, my cup runneth over a C cup. Anyways, I digress. Today we're going to do a topic discussion regarding all these videos that I see online. You see, I'm still kind of new. I've just been a year posting videos and looking online. So I see a lot of these young trans girls, and they're all this drama. He didn't know I was trans, and oh my God, and it's like they're just like. And I was going like, oh my God, what are they doing? What are they doing? Well, it's like, of course they'd freak out, blah, blah, blah. It's like, and then I remembered, I was a young teen trans in the late 70s, early 80s. And, it was pretty scary. So I'm going to tell you a story about my experience, one of my favorite experiences, because it actually turned out to be a really nice story. If you're new to this channel, I am a woman of a teen, transgender, transsexual experience. I'll put up a card that's a complete arc showing you what I did throughout the years since I was a young kid to now, and hopefully that'll help you out. And please remember, the mission for my channel is to help deepen the message of the transgender, transsexual, whatever you want to call it, experience into the mainstream and into our community with a message of love and understanding and peace. No negativity here. Don't even try it. It's not going to happen. I'm Big Mama, honey. I've seen it all. It's like, she don't play that. It's like you're either part of the solution or part of the problem. All the rest is just monkey mind. Here we're in heart mind. Okay, I love you guys. So stick around. Oh yeah, and if you haven't subscribed yet and you keep coming back to my channel and you haven't, what are you waiting for? Touch my little face down there. Just smash it, touch it. And click that little bell and it will tell you when I am posting another video. Okay, so let's get started. Oh my God, he didn't know I was trans. Okay, so it went like this. It was 83. I was 21, turning 22, and I was living in Vancouver, British Columbia. I was at the tail end of my hardcore cabaret, doing entertainment environments for clubs and stuff. Kind of like what was happening in New York with the club kids there. Not kind of, it was. With Michael Alick and, the Party Monster stuff and everything. There was a group of us in Western Canada that were pretty far out, and club owners loved us. God, there was this one club owner, I was 18, and he'd picked me up on the stroll, because that's all you could do back then. You were either showgirl or a hooker, a sex worker. You didn't have any options. This was like 1980. So this one club owner would actually pick me up on the street, me and my girlfriend, Tiggy, and take me to the club, drive me to the club so I could work the door, because I was so fabulous and fucking wild and weird, and it was kind of like an after hours fusion of like punk and straight and gay and everything. And I would just charge one person $25 and the other person I'd let in because they're crazy and cool looking. And when I look at a lot of the videos from the Retro Room, is a really cool channel, talks about the New York club scene. It was so like that, it was toned down, of course, because it was the west coast of Canada, but it was basically like that. So anyways, I moved my empire in my own mind to Vancouver, and so I was doing a lot of stuff there at the Love Affair and other clubs, and touring with shows, really crazy punk rock shows, and slapping Billy Idol in the back room because he was into my cocaine, and it was nuts. It was crazy. There was always something going on, and so to my surprise, I ended up working the door at this club called the Love Affair, and I was working the door and letting cool people in, not letting people in if they weren't cool enough. I was horrible. It's horrible to do that. Like, it's just like, and so there was this guy that kept coming, this punk rock dude, and I knew he was in bands, some famous bands at the time. I won't mention who it is, and he would hang out at the coat shack because I was doing cash and coat shack because I was working during the week and doing shows on the evening in the weekend, and then he oh my God, he would just come and talk to me, and I'd be playing Nina Hagen on my boombox in the back coat check part because I'm learning all the songs that I need to and stuff, because I did half live, half lip sync and stuff, and I'm like doing I'm like stretching like I had a ballet bar there and stuff, and oh my God, and I'm just like witchy poo nylons and like Star Trek freaking crazy like 80s eyebrows and stuff, and he was like, kind of like oh God, what was that band called? The Cult. He reminded me of that guy in The Cult. Oh my God, he was so cute. He was so beautiful. I loved him. Anyways, but I couldn't act like it, right? And I never knew who knew what or what knew who or whatever, because back in those days, you just didn't talk about it, And sure, I had gay friends and stuff that knew the skinny, but even half of them didn't even know what part of transition I'd be in. He was kind of close with a lot of friends that I knew and stuff, so I kind of thought he knew, and I was pretty open, like when it came to if somebody got close to me. So anyways, yeah, he just kept coming to the club, and he kept asking me out, and I kept saying no, and because he was really hardcore punk and like in the scene in Vancouver, and they traveled all over the place, and they were quite popular. And finally, one time, I don't know how it happened, but he took me home to his place. And back then, Vancouver had all of these, like, it was just before, it was before Expo and everything, before everything went condo city. So you could have an old 30s office floor, for like an artist would have it. And like, I'm talking huge, like you'd have to skateboard to the washroom. And I remember him pushing me on the skateboard to the washroom, but that was after all this happened. But he ended up taking me home, and I was so loaded and everything. And I remember I was like in punk rock mode and this black ostrich feather thing, and like, Wendy O. Williams, like, electrician tape on the nipples and stuff. And we went home, and we went to his place, and we were kissing and everything, and he's peeling off the electrician tape, and we were being all punk and fabulous and just necking it. It was just like hormones, nuts. And then it's like all of a sudden he stops, and I realize he, was fumbling around down there, and he was going, oh my God. It's like, and I was like, what? And he's like, oh, I didn't know. And he's, you have to give me a minute. And I was going, oh, screw this. And I got, of course, I was completely humiliated. And so of course I turned it into anger, and I was going, oh, fuck you. It's like, what kind of punk rocker are you? And stuff like that. And I just got it together. And he's going, but wait, just wait a minute. And I just hailed a cab, and half naked on whatever street it was downtown, and went home. And a couple days later, he just kept coming to my door and singing and putting notes underneath, like songs and stuff, and like that he'd written. And oh my God, it was just so romantic and lovely. And we ended up, he ended up being the first love of my life. that I absolutely was open, that wasn't a customer. And he opened my heart and made me feel loved, and he was able to look past that and able to, you know, he was definitely a top, let's put it that way. You know, he wasn't interested in, you know, other stuff, and which I know a lot of guys look for that, you know, the unicorns that can do that. I could never do that. But, you know, this guy, this punk guy, just was able to pry those legs open and let me enjoy myself for the first time, which still didn't stop me from wanting to have it, you know, done and stuff like that too. But it was really nice to finally feel loved and accepted for the first time. So, so that was my, oh my God, he didn't know I was trans thing. Because I was judging you guys. I was judging you kids, like with all your stuff out there, saying that, and it's a really important thing that we go through, and I'm really sorry that I did that, because it is kind of like a rite of passage, you know. So just hang in there, you know. It's like there are men that will love you in whatever state you're in, but don't be shocked if they're shocked, and be very careful. If you're upset because they find out that you have a penis, I couldn't call it a penis. I had to call it a penis. Actually, one of my common law guys told me, he says, let's call it a penis, because I couldn't even say that. I couldn't even say that. That's what I had. It's penis. It's the feminine version. So yeah, if they're freaked out and you get upset, like, it's like, you know, they have a right to be upset too. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know. So it's like, be honest. It's like, just suggestions again, but be honest. It's the safest, and it's the honorable way to do it, right? And some guys just are not into women with that little extra, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you have to respect that. So I've had it both ways. Now I'm in my 3rd decade of, you know, having vaginoplasty. You know, for me, I felt completely congruent after it happened, and relieved, and you know, and like I say in my videos, if I was born later in life, it might have been different. If I was born with cool parents that didn't shame me, and I was born in a bigger city, and I could be around a community of, like, you know, trans men and trans guys and women and stuff like that too, like, I probably would have environmentally, you know, been a different I had a different transgendered experience, but I was born like this. So yeah, I've been completely honest, like I said, with all my videos, when it comes to relationships. Right away, right out of the gate, I tell people, because I don't want to fuck around with it. Because why do I want to know whether they're like all like, you know, that I could fall in love with them just for them to break my heart because they're not into it, and it's not their fault. And then for me to think there's something wrong with them because they can't accept me because I have a penis, it's like, you know, it's like, you know, respect, man. You gotta have respect. We gotta evolve all this really gently and with love, and, you know, all that stuff too. It's like, yeah, I agree. Men should come out and talk about that they, you know, it's like my husband doesn't care who knows what, you know, when it comes to that, because it would be like somebody being embarrassed because I was Asian or something like that. That's the way he thinks. But, you know, when we got together, if I would have had a penis, he wouldn't have been interested. So anyways, that was my, oh my God, he didn't know I was trans experience. And blessings to all you up and coming gals out there. Just be very careful and be smart. Yeah, I love you. And remember, don't forget to subscribe. Touch my little face down there, then click on the bell, then you'll always know when I'm putting on a video, okay? And comment down below. Love you. Bye.